And there's a look at St Clair Station where the subway isn't running. Just some Toronto things on a very Toronto day. It's a little bit chilly and rainy. It's a rather miserable spring day. And I was just live streaming, making my way up to Yonge and St Clair as my umbrella blows inside out. But I noticed there were a number of people outside. And I checked the TTC alerts as I was planning on taking the subway home from here. And it said due to an injury at track level, there was no service, I think, between Bloor, Yonge, and Lawrence, which is a very large stretch of the subway. And that shuttle buses were on the way. I didn't see any shuttle buses yet. Well, it said shuttle buses are running. And I just saw one come through here not too long ago. This is the intersection of Yonge and St Clair. But yeah, I wanted to originally take the train home from Summerhill, and I would have been fine had I have gone on at Summerhill, but I decided to walk north up to St Clair. And this is what we get. Sometimes that's the hand that fate deals you. This is what everyone's contending with right now, this side of the street. It is quite busy. And whenever they run shuttle buses, there's really no order to it. Often the people that nicely queue up end up behind people that kind of push and shove their way. But they must have cleared people off of the train platforms, because usually you're better off just either waiting it out or walking than dealing with battling this many people to get on one of very few shuttle buses. In fact, quite often the alert will say shuttle buses are running or shuttle buses are on the way, and they won't be. Things will clear up before that happens, and traffic is pretty bad. Yonge Street has been snarled to a crawl. There's some TTC constables there as the crowd spills onto the street. There's no one coming up behind me in the bike lane, but this happens weekly in this city. Excuse me? So I need to get myself home. Even though I just took about 15,000 steps, I think walking is going to be the way.
Oh, okay.
This is kind of the worst time for this to happen. Afternoon rush hour, traffic's bad. And they have to pull bus drivers off of their routes to come cover the shuttle buses here. So it's not just the subway riders that are majorly inconvenienced by all of this. I've always maintained a big part of the problem when this happens are the protocols in place. I don't know what happened. It might be a tragedy, it might be a crime scene, but you have tens and tens of thousands of people being inconvenienced like this. There needs to be a protocol just to get things moving on the way quicker. I was once on a subway train where someone passed out and the paramedics came on and they cleared everyone off of the train, and we sat there for about an hour waiting for service to resume, and shuttle buses never did come. While the paramedics attended to someone, I was on the actual train where this person passed out. I was always kind of puzzled why they wouldn't just move them off the train and tend to them on the platform. That person still would have got care by trained professionals and everything would have kept moving on. And before you say I'm a cold person, we're literally talking about tens of thousands of people. People missing doctor's appointments, medical procedures, job interviews, just going to school or work. I was in Korea once when someone appeared to have a heart attack right across from me, and someone pressed the emergency button, and waiting at the doors at the very next stop was a subway attendant who assisted that person off the train. And I believe all of the employees over there are first aid trained, which makes a lot of sense, but not over here. I think they normally have to wait for either police, fire, or the paramedics to give the all clear before things resume. And there's a shuttle bus coming. Let's see if I move faster than it. Just go. And you have to feel bad for those with mobility issues. But normally the best thing to do is either try to wait it out or start walking in the direction you're going towards the stop you're going to, and just hope that at some point it resumes on the way. If not, you've made good progress. Uber, Lyft, or Hop would be an option too. But often surge pricing will kick in. I don't know about you, but I'd much rather be where I am now, walking than crushed onto the bus like those people. I don't see any other buses coming. I think that lady just said someone jumped. And ultimately, that's a failure on the city.
Well, listen,
That one bus is getting well ahead. There's a jam-packed one going south. So a lot of people today had to contend with Bell Internet being down this morning, province-wide. Oh, the camera's getting pretty wet. Maybe I'll see if I can wipe that up. This morning it went down around, I want to say 9:15 or 9:20. I was watching my morning premiere. And my browser told me I was no longer connected to the internet. And I always kind of hope it's not just me. It's everyone when that happens. That way I don't have to like call in and be at the mercy of some tech support agent. So I went on Reddit, found out it's most of Ontario and Quebec that were down.
these are blue or something, right?
And that was the reason why I didn't go out and do a live stream this morning. But fortunately, that came back on. I was all out of content, so I went out to make a video, do a live stream. And now I'm recording this as Mount Pleasant is on the right. It's a major cemetery. Oh yeah, how would this be the city's fault, you ask? Well, they installed a stopping system that allows the trains to stop at the same part of each platform, which is great. It was long overdue, but what they didn't install were the platform security doors. At least from Arm Transit would often call them screen doors. I'm not sure what the official name is. And it's amazing how that hasn't been a priority. That's something really every subway system needs. There's always incidents of people jumping, causing havoc like this. There's been people that have fallen into the tracks. Just the other day I was on a train and we stopped and the conductor came on and said there was someone sitting on the platform dangling their legs over it. That was something I first saw in 2007. That was when I moved to Seoul. I was at Wangshimni Station. And they had those floor-to-ceiling platform doors. And then later I went to Taipei, and they had smaller ones or shorter ones. But we're only about maybe 5-6 feet tall, but they also did the trick, and I think they're a lot more affordable. But again, that was 2007. And I wondered why we didn't have them. I asked some friends who were transit nerds, and they said one of the reasons was you need a system in place that gets the trains to stop in exactly the same spot or they don't work, which makes sense. Those doors have to align with the subway doors. Well, after years and years of weekend shutdowns and shuttle buses and a promise that that would make service more efficient on Line 1, what do we have? We have the worst service we've ever had. Like, literally, this stretch of tracks here is a slow zone where trains just pathetically crawl through it, and there's no end in sight for that. And we don't have the security doors installed. So what was even the point? And here we are at Yonge and Davisville. I guarantee you, if I were waiting for a shuttle bus, I would still be waiting. There are hundreds, if not thousands of people milling about. And it doesn't look like service has resumed. That's another thing that will get your goat. Often, once service resumes, there's nobody to tell the people on the street that that's happened. There was one video where at Yonge and Bloor, there were hundreds of people on the street, and I checked my phone, and the alert said service had resumed. I practically felt like a hero telling everyone, and some of them looked at me kind of skeptically. Let me see here. No service between Lawrence and Bloor Yonge. There will be no service between Shepherd, Yonge and College starting 11 p.m. nightly. Delays southbound at Osgood Station while we respond to an emergency alarm. Yeah, tell me the subway here's not a broken mess. Hey look, there's Burrito Boys. And I think the current head of TTC operations even said there are no plans to completely remedy the slow zones which plague the network. Getting from Yonge and Eglinton to downtown used to take me 25 minutes. Sometimes it takes me 40, 45. But here's what I'm gonna do. I don't normally do this, but the video I posted this morning was walking this stretch. From Yonge and Eglinton down to this area. Here goes a 54 Lawrence bus. So I think what I'll do is I'll spare you duplicating that. I'll put the camera away and march up to Yonge and Eglinton. Should I do that or should I just keep recording? I don't know, I'm second guessing myself. Oh, I thought another shuttle bus was coming in. As I sit here contemplating what to do, I think we've only seen the one shuttle bus go north, which is what will happen. It's now 7:04 p.m. At least my step count is going to be okay today. Oh, I'm going to record the walk. We've seen the scene outside of Davisville Station. If you want to see what it's like at Eglinton, Yonge and Eglinton, you can skip ahead a little bit in the video. There's a bus taking a detour up to Eglinton Station that's almost empty. The sign clearly says Eglinton. Maybe it should have stopped where the shuttle buses stop. I'm sure there's some people that would have appreciated the lift. I highly doubt any more shuttle buses will pass us.
One north, so now I'm at Bellside.
Meaning I will have walked from St Clair up to Eglinton faster than like 98% of those people would have been able to make the trek. It's also worth noting the Crosstown LRT should be open long ago. And for anyone going south into the city, they should have been able to hop on over to Eglinton West, which will quite stupidly be renamed Cedarvale, and take the subway south into downtown that way. But as negative as I'm being, definitely got to appreciate the employees on the front lines who are doing their best to get people moving. They're just merely following marching orders and following the protocols that the TTC has put in place, including the drivers, most of who are excellent, so huge thanks to those people. There's definitely more people than normal. Making this journey. Just in case. thinking what I want for dinner. Maybe I'll pick up some banh mi. But we'll get a look at what the scene is like at Eglinton Station pretty soon. Just a few blocks south of it. And we'll wrap up recording when I get there. And for those who watched yesterday's video, I apologize for the duplicate area. Normally when I walk a stretch like this, I try not to do it again for at least 2 or 3 months. At the end of the video, I'll also check the service alerts to see if we're up and running. Gotta do a few air punches to get it through. My journey today started off by going to this building on the right. I had a package to return that I had to drop off at Staples. That is literally taking all of my energy. It just blows back inside out. This is actually one of the better umbrellas I've owned for that. This is just that kind of day. Alright, it's windy enough. I'm going to put the umbrella to my side, I think. The camera's gonna get wet, she's gonna get wet. We're almost here anyways. This is Yonge and Eglinton. Coming up, Eglinton Station right here. There's a Tees, a not in service bus. And I think this is just the second or third shuttle bus. Yeah, good luck to that person with luggage. Good on that lady for addressing one of my biggest pet peeves when people try to get on before people get off. Someone's got to call out that behavior. Good on her. Thank you. Someone did that when I was getting off the subway on my way down. They may or may not have been bumped into by yours truly. There's a good amount of southbound shuttle buses, and there's really nobody waiting over there. So, bit of an imbalance. And there's water mains, construction just south of here. And that one bus that people are so rudely trying to get on before people can get off is the reason why traffic isn't moving on this side, because the driver has to wait for order to be restored. There we go. Well, I did not have walking home from pretty much Yonge and Gerrard on my bingo card when I woke up this morning. That wasn't a very direct route either. I kind of wandered all over the place on my way up here. There's a bus that's been pulled into shuttle bus duty. Some people waiting over there. That's Eglinton Station. There's a number of buses you could catch from there. But again, there should be the crosstown opened up along here, which would funnel people over to Eglinton West. Whoa, you cannot turn at this intersection. Well, you can, but you're an asshole if you do, and you're clearly blind. I'm gonna wrap this one up. I'm just gonna refresh the service alerts. And yeah, no matter what happened, unless there's like an active crime scene unfolding, or some kind of mass casualty event, I think it's pretty unacceptable not to be up and running after that amount of time. I'm sure some people will be offended by those remarks, but this is not a city that knows how to keep its transit moving. But I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm just gonna go north and get some banh mi. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you were caught up in this mess, you can share your story and I'll read it down below as well. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. And my camera is bloody wet, as they would say in the jolly UK. Anywho, thanks for watching. Yoink.